Good morning, good morning, good morning. I see you, Vince Coleman, coming in. I see you, Deborah Johnson. Good morning to you. As you're coming in here, just go ahead and just put in the chat. How's your 2023 going so far? I know we're only on day 5, but if you're on live on Facebook or YouTube or on LinkedIn, go ahead and just put in the chat. How's your 2023 going? We're only into day 5, but go ahead and drop that in the chat on this morning. All right, y'all. I see again Vince Coleman. I see Deborah Johnson. I know Kenny's in the house. I know Isaiah's in the house. And this is Thursday, y'all. It's Thursday, January the 5th. I see you, Marion Jackson, rolling up in here. 2023. I am your host, Gail Dudley. Welcome everyone who tunes in live or listens to the replay. We have people coming in from YouTube. I see you, Adrian. I see you, Latrice Jones. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. It's a great day. It's just a great day. I see you, Shardini. I see you. You may be listening on audio or the podcast, whether you're listening to the live or the replay. Good morning to you as well. I see you, Robert Holman, coming in here. Y'all, thank you, thank you, thank you for allowing me to spend a part of your day with you. Y'all, yesterday was great, wasn't it? It was a great comeback coming up in here. All right, we got to get to the news. We got to get to the news. There's a lot of news. Deborah Johnson is saying 2023 has been good and getting better every day. It is. It really is good. I see you, Jacqueline. It really is good. All right, y'all. So the 118th Congress, day 2, happened on yesterday. Today is day 3. Again, I'm calling it hashtag the House of Chaos. It's nothing but chaos going on up in there. I see you, Jeffrey Allen James. I don't even know where to start. So this is where I'm going to start. All right, y'all. Representative um, McCarthy he's already now 6 votes in, and he's still not the speaker. So they finally did an adjournment yesterday around 5. They came back at 8, and it was just chaos even when they were returning to the chamber. So someone put a motion on the floor to adjourn until the next day. The Democrats were like, no, we're not doing that. So it was a yay and nay vote, and then it was a digital vote. So when the digital vote took place, actually the clerk, and it's not her fault, y'all, right now they are operating without any rules. They're just operating because there's not a speaker. There is not a speaker currently. I'll talk about the spins in a moment, but there's not a speaker currently. So hats off to the clerk who tried to bring order, the parliamentarian who was trying to bring order. So they did a digital vote, but because the count person had already slid her the paper. If you were tuning in, because the count person had already slid her the paper, she was ready to call it a different way. I see you, Pastor Alex. Good morning. And what happened was the clock went over about 15 seconds, which allowed some Republicans to flip their vote. So they ended up winning the vote 2016 to 2014, which allowed for an adjournment. Now, some people are arguing that the key number is 218, not 216, which that is the case, even when it comes to the speaker receiving that position in the House. So the House of Chaos is just the House of Chaos, the House of Chaos. Latrice Jones said Nancy Pelosi was hilarious with her shade yesterday. Listen, she wasn't playing with any of them yesterday. And I think Joyce Beatty was getting ready to jump up. It got chaotic in there yesterday. All right, y'all. So we have these 20 people who, with big egos, who are now become radical, defiant. They're not moving. So they're not budging. They are a never McCarthy vote. Period. They're not moving. So the first day they put up Jim Jordan. Yesterday they put up Byron Donalds. That's another story. Don't have time for that today. So it was just chaotic. It was going back and forth. Now, y'all, here's what's mind blowing. Representative Kevin McCarthy has been fundraising all 2022 for 17 of the 20 holdouts. Millions of dollars, the caucus. He had the voice because he was that leader of the caucus. He was the voice saying, I want these 17 people to get money. Hold up, y'all. I got the receipts. Axios is reporting Scott Perry received 56,000, and this is just in the last midterm. Andy Harris 26,000, Michael Cloud 25,000, Andrew Clyde 25,000, Ralph Norman 26,000, Byron Donalds 20,000, Paul Grosser 18,000, Anna 10,000, Bob 10,000, Mary 10,000, Andy Biggs 20,000, Matt Gates 20,000, Dan Bishop 20,000, Matt Rosendale 20,000, Chip Roy 5,000, Ellie 5,000, and Keith 5,000. I went looking, I found them all. That was just in that last quarter. But all of 2022, he was raising money for 17 of the 20 people. If that's not going to hit y'all, get this. 3 of the people in the holdout group asked for pardons from the former guy. That's Representative Matt Gaetz. He has some other issues and still fighting some other issues right now. Andy Biggs and Scott Perry. So what is going on? It's a mess. It's a mess. But he can't get in. He can't get in. Not unless there's a Hail Mary today. He cannot get in. So they have adjourned until today at noon. It's nothing but chaos. So people are saying, well, who's next in line? Because if you look at this, and y'all, come on, we got to go back to 2020 when News and Motion started. And we're going to see how I'm trying to think how we can do this because I want to hear from you to see if you know who's next in line. I see you, Davia. What's up, sister? All right, I see you, Tracy Burrs and Donita and Hester. Y'all coming up in here this morning. Good morning. So let me ask y'all this question. No Googling. Absolutely no Googling. No Googling. The first person, and we're only going to do this in 10 seconds, so you got to move fast. The first person who tells me who's next in the line from the president to the vice president, excuse me, and I want the name of the person and the position of the third person. You have 20 seconds. Whoever answers that first, whoever I see on my screen, me and Isaiah see on our screen first, whoever answers that first will get some straight fire gear. Go. 20 seconds. What is it? Do, 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 do. Come on, y'all. Come on, y'all. Come on, y'all. Who's next? Who's next? Don't Google. Don't Google. Who's next? What's up, Dr. Antoinette? Who's next? Who's next? All right, none of y'all coming in with the answer? None of y'all coming in there with the answer? Come on, y'all. We talked about this the first year. Jeffrey Allen James says Speaker of the Senate. Well, there's no speaker. There's no speaker. So who's next in line right now? Come on, y'all. Who watched Designated Survivor? Come on, y'all. Y'all, the House, there's no speaker. There's no speaker right now. There's no speaker. So is President Joe Biden, Vice President Kamala Harris, then who? There's no speaker right now. There's no speaker. Davia says minority leader. Nope. There's no speaker. There's no speaker. All right, I'll go ahead and tell y'all. And I want to make sure I have her name correct. It is Senator Patty Murray. Senator Patty Murray is next in line. So just to let y'all know, it goes, the presidential line goes to the president, the vice president is usually the speaker. But when the speaker is not there, you then go to the pro tem. The line there is the pro tem, who happens to be Senator Patty Murray. So y'all write that down. So y'all have that. Write that down so you have that. So she's like getting briefed right now as we're going into day 3 of the House of Chaos. She's now getting briefed. So it's very interesting to watch all of this roll out. So we don't know where we're going to land. So then we have, and I voted for him twice, and I get pushback on it all the time. Then we have John Kasich now on the scene, trying to broker a deal. He's trying to go and say, okay, let's look at some other people, because you don't have to be an official in the chamber to be the speaker. You don't have to be that person. So they're looking at, okay, who are some moderates out there who may have retired? And they've even floated Liz Cheney's name, but they know she's not going to get 218 votes. But they're not sure because you have enough Dems who would possibly vote for her. Now, Hakeem Jeffries could sneak in there as the speaker. But John Kasich is now out there saying, okay, how do we pull together moderates on both sides and have more like a 50-50 share? And he's looking at this as a form of government that could really deal with policies. I ain't mad at him. I ain't mad at him at all. I'm like, I'm liking what's happening here. So there's a lot that's being floated around out there. We don't know what's going to happen. Who knows? A deal could have been made last night. The former guy again has made phone calls to those 20 people saying, come on, get your act together. Let's just go ahead and do this. We'll fix it when I get back in office, whatever that means. So that is what's happening. Let me see what some of you all are saying. Latrice said the whip. Kenny Stanley said it happened on the House of Cards. Also, who is Patty Murray? She's a senator. She's a senator. Let me see if I can figure out where she's from. She's a senator from Washington, Democrat from Washington. Tracy Burrs. So who is Senator Pat Murray, a Democrat? Yes. Latrice Jones Kasich has always been an interesting one. Very interesting. Good morning, Kim Edmondson. Very interesting. He is very interesting. So at the same time in the House of Chaos, we have George Santos. All right. They have now called him, they have labeled him the serial liar, and the lies continue. So here's the question I want to ask all of you. And I asked this on my social media, I think it was last week or the week before. George Santos, if you were a voter and you voted for this person, would you want your vote back today? Because the person you voted for is not the person in the chambers. Let me read the line. He said he was forced to leave a New York City private school. Lie. He said he represented Goldman Sachs at a top financial conference. Lie. He said he was Jewish. Lie. He said he had history of his family, but they found no evidence of Jewish or Ukrainian heritage. He said his mom was a white immigrant from Belgium. Lie. All lies. There were also claims that he made about running an animal rescue group. Lie. That he owned properties, and there's no record that he owned any of them. Lie. The New York Times reported that George Santos appeared to come in by a load of unexplained wealth, loaning his congressional campaign $700,000 when his income was just $55,000. Lie. The district attorney in Nassau County, New York, opened an investigation. The federal prosecutors opened a probe. So did the New York Attorney General. So again, if you voted for George Santos, would you now want your vote back to vote for someone else? Please post it in the chat so we can talk about it. So that's what's happening. He's there. Many people aren't talking with him. They have pictures of him on his phone, yawning, sitting next to children, and so many other things. So let us know. Let us know what you think. Let us know. And I don't know why Siri wants to talk to me today, but so let me see what you all are saying. Oh, wow, there's a lot. There's a lot. There's a lot. I'm loving this. I'm loving this. Let me see. This is some Dr. Antoinette said this is some Chandra Rhyme stuff. Marion James, the former guy, needs to sit down. Dr. Antoinette said, is that his real name? And people are asking that question. Is that his real name? Kenny says Senator Lie a lot. That's a good name. Vince says absolutely. You want your vote back? Deborah says yes. This is the case of ethics. Dr. Antoinette says they wanted a birth certificate for my president, an honest man. There's that. Jacqueline says yes, I want my vote back. Tracy says yes, I want my vote back. Kenny says, lie on your resume job application and watch how fast you get dismissed. Shirley Nicholson says, absolutely. Jeffrey Allen James says, vote coming back home. He is the male version of the former head of the NAACP. So a lot's going on there. So we don't even know if he's going to remain there or if they're going to be doing another vote. There are some people saying due to all the chaos that's going on there, they don't even know if they're going to run again. So it's just a lot of mess, a lot of mess. I'm calling it the house of chaos, the house of chaos. So as we listen to that and think about that, and you can still fill in the chat there. If you notice, one of the speakers who nominated, because each time somebody has to get up and nominate the person who nominated Representative Kevin McCarthy. I think it was the third time or second time yesterday. She made a statement, and I can't think of her name. She had on the blue and white dress. She made the statement. She says, "We're getting phone calls. I told you all yesterday, call your representatives. Call them, whether they're Democrats or Republicans, call them." And the pressure is on, and the pressure that is being placed upon those in the chamber um, is that they're saying, "We want y'all to get to business." They're not even getting paid. Their paychecks are to come out on the 13th. They're not getting paid. Their aides can't get paid. Their staff cannot get paid. If something horrific was to happen, there's absolutely at this moment nothing that chamber can do until a speaker has been appointed. So that is where we are. That's where we are. So call your representative. Say enough. Say the midterm election vote. Clearly put in the forefront that we're tired of this type of party politics. We want to see action. I put a post up yesterday on my Facebook page. I said, really, the Democrats in a position to negotiate, although Hakeem Jeffrey said they're not going to negotiate. Who knows, that could change after last night. But they're in a great place to say, okay, we will vote present, and that's what they can do, which will put Kevin McCarthy where he wants to be. They can say will vote present or other. That's the other choice. And but these are the things we want. And I listed out some things just looking at the different committees. I said y'all should ask for 5 committee chairs. Y'all should ask for voting rights with no questions asked. Y'all should ask for student loan forgiveness. Y'all should ask for no interference from the DOJ or the FBI. And I think I had one more up there. They're in a position to negotiate if they really want to do it. If they really want to do it, they're in a great position to negotiate. But what I love is that they all fall in line: 212, 212, 212, 212, 212. 6 times, 212, 6 times. And I love Representative Pete Aguilera, who says, "For the vote leader of the 5th time, I nominate Hakeem Jeffrey." So it's fascinating. I could not leave between all of my devices where I'm getting press releases and alerts and watching it on television. I could not move. I'm like, this for me, I know this isn't the first time. It happened in 1923, 133 votes. I hope they don't sit through 133 votes to try to break a record and make it 134. But I was sitting like, for me, this is my history to see this play out the way it's playing out. So it's been absolutely amazing to me. So y'all call your representatives, let them know, okay, put party politics aside. Let's get to work. Let's get some things done. Let's get moving. Let's get moving, because in other news, as I shared with y'all yesterday, and it was the governor of Ohio, DeWine. It was Senator Minority Leader Mitch McConnell, President Joe Biden, Senator Sherrod Brown, former Senator Rod Portman, and others who were out there showing bipartisanship. And people were like, yes, that's what we want to see. So a split screen, you had people who were together on one side of the screen, and you had people who were arguing in gridlock and chaos in the house. So this is America. This is what's happening, and that is my recap. Hopefully you learned something in here. Again, it's the pro tem who is in line now that there's not a speaker. Until there's a speaker, Patty Murray, Senator, Democrat, Washington, would be the third in line. would be the third in line. Yeah, this is all fascinating to me. This is why I get so excited when I report this out. All right, y'all. Yesterday we had some technical difficulties getting Kenny Stanley in. He's so happy to be back after his surgery. We're not going to play the intro like we did yesterday. We're just going to bring Kenny in so he can give us an update and we can just thank God for our prayers being answered that he's fine. So come on in here, Kenny Stanley. Good morning.
Hey, good morning. How everybody doing? I missed everybody. I really did.
Well, we missed you too, and we were praying for you, and we are so glad that your surgery went well. You were home, you have recuperated, and now you're back. Hopefully, you're
Yeah.
not overdoing it, but
No.
we're glad to see that you're back.
Yeah, I'm glad to be back. I'm glad to be back. Thank y'all so much. All right. Good morning, News and Motion family. Welcome to Game Over with me, Kenny Stanley. I am so glad to be back. I hope everybody's Christmas and New Year was great. Uh, Recovering, I feel great. I'm back. I'm not overdoing it. My wife won't let me overdo it, so she's holding. She's like mom now, so she's saying what I can do and can't do. So I'm okay. I'm okay. I appreciate her for that. I appreciate all y'all's prayers, and just want to say thank you so much. I missed y'all, and just thank y'all for holding me down. Uh, uh, I wanted to talk to you about. Wanted to talk to y'all a little bit. Uh, about what happened Monday. Um, that was a hard thing to watch with Damar Hamlin going into cardiac arrest like that. He is now in ICU. He's recovering. They said there's signs of improvement, and he will, but he's still in ICU, critical condition. But that was a hard thing to see. Um, he fell out from cardiac arrest on the field. He was on the field for up to 10 minutes. They got his heart back pumping while he was on the field, got him on oxygen, but got him to the UC Medical Center. And right now he's doing better. That's coming from his childhood friend and high school teammate who plays for Indianapolis, and everybody who was by his bedside yesterday said he's doing better. His uncle reported that they took him off 100% oxygen and got him down to 50% oxygen. So that's improvement right there. They're trying to wean him off the oxygen so see if he can breathe by himself. Uh, During the telecast on ESPN that day on Monday, there was a report that they was talking about coming back to play in the game after a brief respite or whatever. But the players came out and it was like no. And then finally, the Buffalo Bills head coach was like, "No, we're not coming back out here to play," and that was a good thing. But my question is, with them talking about coming back to play, does the NFL really have these players' best interests at heart? That's the thing. I mean, they increased they said they got the players' health in mind, but you increase the season. Now this is going on week 17 or week 18, I do believe. Why you increase the season so much? So you really don't. Are you really? Is it a money thing? And that's what I believe it is a money thing. Skip Bayless. I really dislike him, but Skip Bayless came out with a tweet talking about how can they postpone the game. Uh, but Skip, you need to think about somebody. You need to think about this man's health. How can you be thinking about them playing the game and you worried about them postponing the game, talking about the playoff implications and all that other stuff? I will talk more about that Saturday. But other than that, he's doing well. His family said he's recovering and he's getting better, but he's still in ICU. And I just want to continue to
Seem like
lift Damar
you're
Hamlin
frozen
up
again. Go
in
ahead,
prayer,
Kenny.
lift his mother up in prayer. The Bills organization, the Bengals organization, because they was on there and got a prayer visual. So it was beautiful. So that's it. We're gonna go back to Gail, and I'm gonna see everybody Saturday, 6 o'clock. For game over.
Again, thank
I
you
see
so much
everybody Saturday.
for coming in again today after the technical difficulties yesterday. We're having a little bit today too from your end.
Yeah,
We're going to work on that before Saturday to make sure we
yeah,
have that up and running and no no difficulties there. But yeah, we're
Right.
again, Kenny, we're so glad to see you back. So glad you're coming back for Saturday.
I'm glad to be
And we
back.
will
Thank you so
continue
much.
to pray for Damar Hamlin.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
I
All right, y'all. And again, we apologize for the technical difficulties. I'm seeing some of y'all's questions, so hopefully Kenny can see those in the chat and will respond. All right, y'all. Our next topic. I told y'all yesterday I was going to talk about it today, and I really want to hear your feedback on this. I'm gonna just say two names: Harry and Meghan. Woo! Can they get a break? Can they get a break? So much is going on. As we know, their Netflix docu-series came out, and then on December the 31st, another series came out called Live to Lead. Live to Lead. And I loved it. I loved every bit of it. There's a piece on there where there was an interview with Ruth Ginsburg, the late Ruth Ginsburg, Justice Ruth Ginsburg, and it was just great. So Forbes is reporting this. Well, the granddaughter of the late Nelson Mandela is upset. She's upset. She thinks everybody's trying to profit off of her grandfather. Well, this series, Live to Lead, is in conjunction with the Nelson Mandela Foundation, they've already come out to say we've approved this. This was a conversation years ago. This was a conversation when Nelson Mandela was still alive. This was a conversation, and things were already in the work. We know this. This is a conversation. We know exactly what we agreed to and what they were doing. Well, Nelson Mandela's granddaughter has accused Prince Harry and his wife Meghan of using her grandfather's legacy to profit with their Netflix documentary series Live to Lead, which she calls deeply upsetting and tedious. Like, how dare you do this? Now, according to Harry, who's come out with his own response, said the series, which premiered on the streamer last month, was inspired by Nelson Mandela and done in partnership with the Nelson Mandela Foundation. He's done with it. That's it. And his spokesperson came out and said, everybody's getting paid. Everybody's getting what's due to them, what was agreed upon. So I just want to know, are they just a target in this season? He'll be on 60 Minutes with Anderson Cooper on Sunday. He's out now promoting his book Spare. There's some things that are out there. I won't report them because I didn't hear them from him, and I don't have a copy of the book to have read it to be able to speak to some of the things that people are saying is inside the book. But they're telling their story. Some people are saying they should just remain silent and not say anything. Others are saying they should speak up, tell their story, tell what from their lens, what's happening to them. My petty side, I am Team Harry and Team Meghan. Yes, I am. I'm not Team William and Team Kate. I don't know any of them. I'm just being silly, to be honest. But where does this stop? And why are we, and you heard me talk about this yesterday in my question with Dr. Eric Currens, at what point do we stop trying to manufacture or get into the lives of other people and just focus on our own selves and our own lives? When do we get to that? Jeffrey Allen James says, I agree, and they should go after his brother. Rosanna says, I love Harry. It's his story to tell. And it is his story to tell. But we seem to be so involved in their lives. I watched I had a watch party with the docu-series. Let me just be honest with you all. And then I watched Live to Lead, and I thought it was absolutely phenomenal. I don't care who wrote it. I don't care who gets the money. It was phenomenal. And I would suggest everybody watch it. And that's again Live to Lead, that came out on December 31st. Mike Nicholson says, listen, after watching that series, they stayed too long. That too. I don't disagree with you on that. So much to unpack there. It's going to be interesting to see that continue to go. I have my book on order, Spare, because I want to read it for myself. because these are his words. All right, y'all. I also want to just talk about humanitarian for a moment. CNN is reporting that Celebrity Cruise Line, y'all, there were a group of migrants who were rescued by crew aboard a celebrity cruise ship near Cuba. It was the Celebrity Beyond ship. It was headed back to Fort Lauderdale when they noticed 19, excuse me, Cuban migrants were spotted. Crew members dropped the boats, sent them out. These are the safety boats from the ship on the side of the ship. Um, got the migrants, brought them back to the ship, gave them a change of clothes, food, fed them in the main dining room, gave them water, and kept them together and allowing them to enjoy the ship in a particular area before the U.S. Coast Guard came aboard. So they didn't just put them in the ship and say sit here until the U.S. Coast Guard. They fed them. They gave them clothes. They let them shower. They gave them water. They gave them a place to rest. And I just want to say shout out to Celebrity Cruise Lines for doing that. Just shout out to them. Um, and it's like, why can't we all just be in that place? I was reading different comments on the CNN um, website where some people were like, they should have left them out there. They should have just taken the ship. I'm like, why do we go there? Why is it that people are, and I know why, I'm just putting this out here when I was reading this. Why is it that people are leaving a place? That's where we should think first. And what can we do? How can we really have human rights around the world and not just in particular places? Why can't we protect each other and support each other? I know I'm gonna get some hate mail from this, but that's okay. But our heart should be in that place of wanting to serve. Latrice Jones went back to yesterday and says the displacement that Dr. Currents talked about is real. I agree with you. I can't get that word out my head either. Kim Edmondson said they are human beings. Mike Nicholson says that's the wall people. Yeah, I mean, I was reading some of the most horrific comments in that section. And I was thinking, man, if I'm ever in trouble on the side of a road, who would be the people or the person to stop and help me? Would I be able to trust them or would they wish for my death or my demise? And just reading some of the comments made me think of that just because of their hate and their anger that they were spewing through the comments. Adrian on YouTube says, Meghan and Harry have the right to be transparent and heal for their future and legacy for their children. I agree with that. I agree with that. So let me move into the inspirational message, which follows this humanitarian act. And I want to say, serve from your heart. Serve from your heart. What is your heart speaking to you? What makes your heart sing? Serve from that place. My family laughs at me all the time. And I may have shared this with you before, but if I see somebody's like, oh, they really need help, they really need help. So, and they're like, Mom, I can hear my kids out like, Mom, seriously, they're working with somebody in the car over there in that parking lot. I'm like, but do we know? Do we know who the person is over in the car? Are they living in the car that's over there on the parking lot? I'm always asking all of these questions. And I know that there's games that people are out there playing. I know there are people out there waiting for somebody like me to come around because they know I'm gullible and I'm going to do whatever. I can remember myself and a friend of mine, Stephanie Bright. We were at Cheesecake Factory. This was a number of years ago, and a man came in with a little girl, and little girl was crying but kind of laughing, and the man says, can you help us? My daughter's in the hospital. This is my granddaughter. We ran out of gas. And for some reason, I'm like, yeah, right. Okay, sure. So, and things like that, it's like, okay, I know this is a game. But other times I'm like, well, maybe they really do need our help. Because we never know when we are serving an angel unaware. We don't know. We don't know. But I know we need to use discernment. But even if we can't help, or even if we're like, no, can we lend a prayer? Can we? Does it always have to be money? Can, even in this time, although it's 60 something degrees outside right now, which is so strange, but can we have little kits in a car where I can't give you money, but here's a packet of wipes and deodorant or socks or gloves, hats, something? Is there something that we can do? If I saw any child on the side of the road, in trouble, crying, I know I have to use caution, but I have a phone. Call 911. Many of you may have seen Lori Williams Wallace post on yesterday. A woman fell in front of her basket and she's trying to get help to serve this woman. And she was saying how people were just like standing there. And I'm a Lori. Like, let's get help. What's going on here? And the woman hit her head. The woman wasn't doing well at all. The woman had something going on with her. I read another post from my sister in law that something similar, a young man, they were out at a restaurant, a young man fell. It's like, okay, what's really going on? And what do we need to serve? Is there a health crisis or a health issue that people aren't going to the doctor to be taken care of because they don't have the funds? There's something that's missing. This year, and Deborah had posted already. I believe, and I said this, and Latrice Jones will tell you I said this on December 31st. And this hashtag has been on me since that day. Many miracles, many miracles. And I believe God's going to use us to be that person who delivers miracles to people. I really do. Call me crazy. I don't care. I really believe that God is going to use us to be the miracle givers. Maybe that miracle may be a word that will lift somebody up. Maybe the miracle will be a financial blessing. And let me say this about that. You never know. A person can be in a Mercedes Benz, live in a $1.5 million house, and could be dressed to the nines every day, but they may have just lost everything and doing whatever they can to keep food in their house. Don't look at the appearance of a person. If God speaks to you to give, your responsibility is just to give, not to ask questions or even tell somebody what you've just done. But I believe God's going to use us as the person to just be blessing people. I do. And in return, I believe that we're going to be a blessed people. That's what's going to happen this year. I believe that with everything. That's what's going to happen this year. All right, y'all. Tune in tomorrow. Not here, but tune in tomorrow to the launch of Politics and Prose. Tomorrow, there's a 50-minute interview with Dr. Eric Currents. It's on wherever you listen to your podcast. Go ahead and subscribe to that podcast today on any podcast platform. Go ahead and subscribe. The podcast will launch at 7 a.m. Eastern time tomorrow. Please subscribe, download, and share. The information that Dr. Curran shares on this podcast tomorrow is outstanding. It's absolutely phenomenal. I'm so excited. Then the following week, we will have on Politics and Prose, Deborah Johnson, who talked about right from the heart. That too, there's supposed to be 30-minute segments, but that too was a 50-minute segment. That was absolutely amazing. And then, thank you, Isaiah. And then I won't give the name. I secured someone yesterday to be on the podcast. They'll be on in February. That I was in one of those moods because I was on vacation. I was on the ship, okay? I was on a celebrity cruise line on vacation celebrating 31 years of marriage to my amazing husband. And God was just downloading information to me. And so while I was on the ship and I had my iPad only, I had internet access, I was like, I'm just getting ready to invite this person to the podcast. Yesterday, they said I would be delighted to join you. I literally started screaming through the house. I just couldn't believe it. So I was in one of those moods. Latrice Jones, if you're still on here, hashtag many miracles. To me, that was a miracle. And I'm so excited. We have some amazing people joining me on Politics and Prose, amazing, and some amazing people joining me right here on News in Motion. Y'all, this is the year, not just for me, but for all of us. So get ready for many miracles. All right, y'all, that's all I have. That's all I have. I will see y'all right here on Monday at 7:25 a.m. Eastern. Again, thank you so much for allowing me to spend a part of your day with you. All right, y'all know what I say. Stay well. And remember, make some bold moves. I'm out.